I'm Kaylee, and this is my YouTube vlog. We focus on health and fitness. Today we'll be focusing on boxing, and within this boxing lesson today, we'll be focusing on some basic footwork. I thought there would be no better person to teach us than my very own father, Thomas Klein. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hey, I've done some boxing in my days, not a whole lot. No basics, and I've always been a big boxing fan. So, Kaylee, Cassia here to just kind of take in a couple of basic. What we want to talk about is how you're going to stand when you're in the ring. First of all, you got to figure out, are you going to be a conventional boxer who's going to lead with his left? Because his power hand is the hand he writes with would be his dominant hand. Would be your right. So you would turn sideways to your opponent. You don't want to face him like that, especially if it's an MMA guy. Jeez, destroy your knees. So you want to be almost like a pitcher or a batter, facing sideways to your opponent. Always with your knees bent. Always have a little. So the basic for a conventional boxer is going to be always hands up. You throw that left out. You want your weight back here. Okay? Now when you go to throw your right, your left always coming back. Legs can't be too far apart. No shoulder width. Always got a little light on your feet until you're really going to throw your foul punch. Don't lock out your left knee. So you're going to have your weight back. You're going to throw that punch. Pop. Some guys like to bring it up from a jab and then halfway back and boom. That's a nice little. But that's an advanced move, really. Sometimes they knock your guard down and they throw. Back to the footwork. So right on your feet. So you're throwing your power punches sideways to your opponent. Okay? You want to move laterally too, not straight back and forth, because that way the guy can nail you with his hook. Hook. So, straight back on your feet, knees bent, shoulder width apart, on your toes, light on your feet. Try to move from laterally, not straight back. Now you throw your left, it's good to double up on your left. And you got your weight back here. Now, like I don't know, every sport, you're squishing a roach, some people would say, you know. So with your back foot, you're gonna, and it's really coming from your core. And now your weight is way up front, like 70%. But straighten the leg out. All right, so pop, 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 pop. That's called the Ali shuffle. Even though the first guy that I saw do it was a guy named Jersey Joe Walcott. When you throw that right, everything, and you know, you're turning your shoulders, your hips, and now to follow the right, you're going to want to get right back to your jabs. Keep the opponent away. And also, you can set up a hook. Your weights forward. Now, when you go to throw the hook, a conventional hook is usually a left hook. You're not going to want to bring it out. You want to come in like that, like a fish hook, a gapping hook. When you throw that right, you got your weight. Now you want to bring your weight back. As you come back on your foot, boom! And you try to pull that hook in that position straight across the guy's body or face. And you do that by switching your weight back to your back foot and turning your whole core and everything. Some people like to see you kind of come back a little bit almost too, for protection purposes. But always keeping your right up while you're doing that. Everything always coming back to your chin and your ribs. When the opponent does charge at you, there's a little thing you call sidestep. and hook. It's an inside hook, not the conventional hook. It's still going to be with your left hand. So if she was coming at me, straight at me, I would want to do this. It's just a little hot. It took me a really long time. Mostly when I'm out there shadow boxing, I finally learned how to do this. Now your opponent's here, you look at the side of his face or hers, and now you can throw this little inside hook. It doesn't come like this, it comes inside like that. So if you can really get over on them, you can really hurt them and keep yourself from getting hurt. It'll take you a few times to do it, but it took me a few years to learn it. It's more of a hop though. It's kind of hard to do in slow motion. And that's followed by a right, where you're getting out, you're shifting your weight, and then another jab. Well, you always want to finish with a jab, really. That's about all I know.
Okay.
Other than that, you just gotta, train, eat right, unlike I've been doing.
Cardio.
Yeah, no cardio for me these days. But yeah, that's the sweetest move, I think, in boxing, is where you just, and now all of a sudden, you're on the side of your opponent. It's hard for him to hit you, because you're on the side.